Hello, welcome in to the latest video. I'd firstly like to apologise for this being a bit later than planned. I did plan to get this out last weekend when the NDA had just run out. I should have probably recorded it previous that weekend and had it all ready. But there's been a lot of planning in the works for this video, and yeah, I've had work and baby duties getting in the way of getting this done. So it is now 11 p.m. at night. I've been planning this pretty much all day. I've got like 2 pages, A4 pages equivalent on my iPad of notes and a breakdown to cover everything. I've had to reorder all the pictures and videos that I've got from the event and go through all of them, download them onto my computer from my phone. And yeah, there's been a lot of planning to this, so I hope you appreciate this video. It is hopefully going to be a really good insight into it. So this video is CitizenCon 2954. I want to cover that quickly. 2954. The game is set 930 years, if my maths correctly, in the future. 930 years. So that's why it's called 2954, because it's kind of based in game, kind of years basically. So yeah, 2024 CitizenCon. I was behind the scenes volunteer for the event, and I thought it'd be a great idea to do a video to explain to you my experience. So I'm going to break it down what we're going to cover in the video. We are going to cover how I applied and how I was chosen, how that all worked, and how if you want to get involved with behind the scenes next year, how it kind of works, and some advice from me. The journey before, so leading up to that, we had some Zoom calls and stuff like that, so go into detail about that. And then arriving in Manchester and helping set up the CitizenCon event days before as well. And then we're going to go into covering the event, working predominantly at the merch store for me. I was assigned there, but I covered other areas and supported other places as well. And then we'll be finishing off with a strike. So if you ever done event planning, coordinating or anything, what the strike is like, the clear down, like cleaning up the event and putting the venue back to normal and getting all your equipment out and stuff, and then ending on just covering some details about the studio tour as well. So it's kind of like the timeline of the event. So we're going to jump straight into it. We've got loads of pictures and videos to cover, so we'll jump into that in a second. First bit I want to cover is the application. So I can't remember exactly, because this is like a year ago now, and we've had a baby since then, many sleepless nights, and so I couldn't remember if I got a ticket just before or just after this, but I applied around the same time as ticket went on sale earlier in the year, and I saw it advertised on their social media of saying they were, if you want to volunteer at the event, put your name forward. There's an application form, so it's pretty much like not like applying for a job as such. You didn't have to attach your CV, but you had to put what your experiences were, where you thought you'd suit being good at behind the scenes, and you also had to cover your experience, your availability as well. So if you're only available for the Saturday and Sunday, you wouldn't be very good at behind the scenes, because you're needed before the event predominantly as the main kind of part of help for the setting up an event, and obviously during the event as well, but and also where your location was. So obviously if you can travel there, and your RSI details. So I think if you do get accepted, they just needed them details as well. You had an RSI account. I applied earlier in the year. I'd got my premium ticket already, and then I was notified in August time. There was a few waves. I think there was the first wave of, I think predominantly people that had done behind the scenes before were notified maybe in July, off the top of my head, from what I'd heard. Then there was a couple of more waves throughout August to fill that out. This is the biggest ever CitizenCon, and it is the most volunteers they've ever had. I think they had around, off the top of my head again, this is me just trying to remember numbers, it was not official, but around 30, 35 at LA last year. I think they realised they probably needed a bit more help with that and support with that from just feedback, and also they were having so many more people this year as well, attendees. So I think it was around 100 volunteers that helped out this year, on top of all the CIG staff that got involved. There there was a lot of people helping out on top of all the attendees. So a lot of people in the building. Well, nearly 5,000 people in the building, which was crazy. So yeah, next part of the timeline. After being accepted, we got invited to the BTS Discord. So it's BTS standing for behind the scenes. So we got initially asked if we had any preferences to where we worked, I think. If not, they were then going to assign people to what areas. Obviously going through people's application forms and just trying to balance teams out and stuff. They had team leads as well assigned. So they had certain people assigned to be doing team leads. There was drivers assigned, so people that were able to drive and had a vehicle coming to the venue, then they would assign drivers if they needed people to drive out and get anything. There's loads of different roles throughout the event. So leading up to it, we had 2 Zoom calls. I think about a month before we had a Zoom call. The first one that was covering just an overview. We had a Q&A involved in that as well. And this is where I'm going to switch to the other scene now. This is where we first found out. So we got a kind of sneak peek. We had it was less fancy than this, shall we say, because this was public facing. We had the one before this come out, and we got an idea of all the layout of the venue. This is where we found out about the Hornet as well. So had to keep my lips sealed with that very hard because that was super exciting to hear. We had it was Xylo, Tyler joined the call and was saying the details about that and how excited they are, but obviously try and keep, help keep the magic with the event and don't spoil it for people. But it was really cool. He done an amazing speech. It was almost like, I'm thinking of the meme for Avengers when I think it's Captain America does a speech and he's like, oh, he's good at that. He's pretty good at speeches, I don't want to play, get his head too big. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Just inspirational just to hear that kind of like passion with people, and that happened throughout the event, if I'm honest. Of all the people that worked there, it was really cool to see the passion. They are just as much fans as we are. So I digress. Anyway, he jumped on the call, told us about the 50 feet long Hornet, and then 20 feet tall as well. Crazy. So that was really cool just to hear that it was actually going to be a real ship after seeing kind of like this, and then even get it released to the public a few days later after we'd seen it. All the public were going, is it going to be a real ship, or is that just like going to be a mural on the floor? But yeah, anyway, we had that call. We went over some Q&As. We went over we just got assigned our areas, so we had our team leads. They kind of had the hierarchy as well, saying what kind of who you go through if you had any questions and stuff. That was Leah and Niku running that, and Ed as well. So them 3 were pretty much the main people running it, kind of running all the volunteers and organising the event. And then, we then had another Zoom call a week before the event, the Sunday before, and we just went over final details, confirmations of scheduling. There was a full massive schedule out, hour by hour. Leah had nailed it down, and even then they were allowing us to have a bit of feedback with it as well, which is amazing, especially previous volunteers that had experienced last year that had feedback either that had attended the event or volunteered at the event. So it was quite a cool experience just having that on a call, being able to we kind of felt like it was a team effort rather than you're just helping out kind of thing, if you know what I mean. We were allowed our input and they listened to us, and it was really cool to have that chat and have a good laugh on the call and find out more details. And I was like, if I wasn't excited for CitizenCon at that point, I was even more so by the end of it. So that was a week out. On the next part as well, it was so we arrived, just having a look and making sure I'm not missing out any notes in there. One thing actually on the application I wanted to cover, I've just put this on the note to one side. This is why I'm going over my notes, make sure I don't miss anything. Participation agreement, I had to get signed. So there was 3 contract kind of things, like paperwork we had to sign for the application as well once I accepted. It was a participation agreement. It was a likeness release as well, so we had to agree for our participation. I don't know if people that attended the venue had to sign this as well, just in case they were caught in any videos or anything like that. You'll have to let me know if you attended the event as just as a fan as such, you weren't behind the scenes. let me know if you had to sign that as well. I don't know if it was just for their live streams and stuff. And also, all behind the scenes people had to sign an NDA. So this is why it kind of pushed me back doing this video as well. Was we had to wait till a week after the event till we could put any pictures or videos and stuff out there. So yeah, had to sign all that. So just be aware if you're wanting to sign up, their free forms, unless they change anything, will be what you have to sign next year. So yeah, keep an eye out for that kind of like social media posts for them to advertise behind the scenes, or feel free to get in touch with me, and because I'm going to be in touch with all the rest of the behind the scenes peeps. So when it goes live next year, we can all tell each other, oh, the applications are live. So if anyone's interested, feel free to drop me a message on Discord or on your social medias, and I'll be happy to kind of pass it on. I'm sure they'll appreciate more people to choose from and to get, a good bunch of people. We don't know how big next year is going to be. So yeah, on the Wednesday afternoon, we drove up, and I'd luckily met someone else through Discord, Night Ranger. So we organised meeting kind of like we drove halfway with the other half, and he met me, and then we drove up the rest of the way to Manchester. So I went up with him, so carpooled. Much more cost effective for us both. Stayed at his hotel for the first night. When we got there, we went to Bar Citizen. So this is a cool little picture I've got. Loud environment. It's very loud, chatting away there. It was live music there, which was really cool. I've got a little video, I think. This is me having a meal with Naranja. This is the Peaky Blinders restaurant right next to where we have like the bar area where we have Bar Citizen. And next to us, which was quite funny, we had Expat Brat, Execute, and Algorithms. 3 people I watch content of, the Info Runners and Expat Brat. If you haven't watched her on Twitch, amazing, like cinematography in game, and Info Runners, all the info and ship buying guides you can ask for. They sat at the table next to me, and I was like, oh, do you know who that is? And Night Ranger did not know, so I had to educate him on some, because he doesn't follow too many YouTubers or content creators. So definitely educated him, and hopefully he's subscribed to them now. Gave you 2 more fans, but that was cool seeing them come along. So then actual people I recognise, because there's so many people in the community like will go into that, and the first ever time I've been to a CitizenCon or a Bar Citizen. So yeah, say friendly faces, but it's nice to actually just see people I recognised, shall we say. But yeah, had a meal here, and then in the next bit I'm going to only play a little bit of this audio so I don't get copyrighted, but this is the bar area. So we sat in the restaurant over the other side here. You can see all these people are citizens of the verse, and we had some live music in the background, which is pretty cool. Moving on. Oh, I've skipped one photo. This is the venue. So next day after that Bar Citizen, we went off to Manchester Central Convention Centre. It's a long one. Massive old railway building, as far as I'm aware. You got the tram here, just behind this van. It's going up the side here, so it's all integrated. Really interesting kind of road layout for this park, because you can actually drive under the building as well as an underground car park for it. These are all like where all the construction work would be coming in. You'll see this is kind of hallway on the first part, and then hall be on the later back half end of the bit. So that's where all the community booths were and the VIP area was, and down here is like the viewing hall. So round to the front. This is a picture later in the day, but I thought I'd just show the front of the building. This is where we went in for the first day, and then later on, and where everyone queued through, they went through the side entrance as well, which we've got. I don't know if we've got a picture of that, but we'll cover that in a second. You've got all CitizenCon stands and stuff out the front. So is back at the Bar Citizen as well, we met Niku and Dan as well. Dan is like the content creator. He's the one that works alongside Jared for the videos on the Twitch streams. So met them at the Bar Citizen, and we met some of the BTS people as well. Niku introduced us to some of them as well, so that was pretty cool. Niku is the community manager, so he was the one kind of organising us, and he was one of our point of contacts for behind the scenes. Moving on, this is our orientation for the first day. So we've got Dan here, who I mentioned. You've got Jake, you've got Niku, you've got Leah there, and There's so many CIG stuff. I can't remember all the rest of them. Like I said, this guy did not get his name. Someone told me, but there was like probably equivalent to like 200 people's names I had to remember every weekend, if not more, between CIG staff, all volunteers, and community members as well. So it's really hard. I'll shout out that he looked awesome in a leather jacket. He looked like he'd come off a set of Sons of Anarchy. So yeah, fashion compliments there. But everyone was super friendly. I just didn't get a chance to chat to everyone of the CIG staff, unfortunately, but spoke to loads of people in loads of different areas from all around the world, from LA and Austin offices, and to some of them that have recently moved to the Manchester office as well. So we're having an orientation here, just get an introduction to the teams. Leah's letting us know who to funnel kind of any questions through to, because obviously you can imagine Leah, who's organising the whole event, would not want to be bothered by every single one of us every time we have a question. So it was organised, so you kind of, it filters up the channels if it was urgent or not. So we all had our own team leads within our volunteer groups, and then we had Nico as our next point of contact, who definitely probably saved Leah some time in regards to some questions and organisation there. So yeah, we then went and had a tour of the facility. So after this, we went to Hall A. This is it under construction. As you can see, it is. We had to wear high visors and just cut through the corner here and not get in the way. They had all the lighting going on here. So all the rigs are like ground level. They're obviously getting all the correct lighting put up and customized it for this specific event. You can see trellises. I don't even know what he called him. Trying to think of the wording, but all the rigging and stuff for the stage and for all the big screens as well. As you can see, they're kind of putting it all together here. Got a picture later on which is a bit further along as well. You'll see. So yeah, a lot of equipment going in there, and it's behind. This is the front entrance is behind this wall, and that's where they had all the equipment going on for setting up all the videos and content throughout the weekend. And moving on, this is our first time of seeing the Hornet. This isn't a Hall B. You've got a big Titantron there that's lowered down, and look at that. Oh. So it was again getting assembled. We walked through, we were like, it's real. This is a pretty cool moment seeing this. So it's not a real spaceship. Sorry to break it to people. I'm sorry if that breaks the immersion here. But amazing what Mango Stone done. They've done a lot of work for a lot of other TV and film studios, worked for Star Wars as well, and done a lot of work in the CIG office. If you haven't seen the studio tour, do check out my video on that, because that shows some of that other awesome work. But this is the biggest thing they've ever made. We'll go into more detail about that later as well. I think I've got a video for that, but you can see all the wings and stuff here, all the other parts are getting put together. And yeah, that's a wide angle of Hall B. You can see some of the community booths in the background, a little teaser for that. We'll cover that a bit later on. They're trying to get it all put together here. They've got the rigging there for the backdrop, rigging the kind of skeletal frame. A lot of details of that. And Profile was there. Selfie of me. A few different angles. As you can tell, couldn't get enough of it. So this is back angle. They were putting the rigging up here as well to support it. So you had this big frames here. Massive engine. I think this is 75% to scale. It's not even to full scale in the game. But you could definitely fit in that cockpit. This could, you know, if it was a real ship, this would be a big enough size to have this, I imagine. Another angle of it there, getting all put together. And they're about to put the wings on here, as you can see. And this is just the frames for the backdrop as well. So this is the backdrop on one side for the F7A Hornet, on the other side. And then on this side, they had like this big kind of CitizenCon mural, but like poster. It was like the promotional work that you would have seen online. And it would have advertised the CSV, I think it was, on one side as well. And you had like one of the space stations on the other side. So, I'm jumping ahead. So after we had a little tour, we then went on to bag packing. This is us well underway. It took quite a while to get to this point. There was pallets and pallets worth of merch stuff. So all the bags come in like empty. Then we had to put all the collector tins and leaflets and extra goodies, coasters and things and everything else that come with it, all in there. And also the tins had to be opened up and had stuff put inside as well, which we had to do next day, which I'll cover in a minute. But these are all the standard bags, the general admission tickets, and then on the other side, behind kind of this part here as well, as you can see, there's tons of boxes. These are all packed bags, all ready to go. We had like a conveyor belt system of certain people doing certain things, and we had all the premium bags going. I think it was on this part here actually. This is the premium bag kind of like conveyor belt of people organizing it all, and then we had the ones over there. So there was over nearly 5,000 bags I think we packed, which is incredible. So amazing teamwork there. And there was a lot of pallets worth of stuff that we had to go through and organize. So yeah, I helped organize the premium bag line, and then I was kind of chipping in and making sure everyone was like getting support where they needed. So I kind of was like going a bit of everywhere and trying to keep everything tidy and running well. So that was good fun. At one point running off to get drinks to keep everyone hydrated, because that's another thing as well. Everyone there, all the volunteers were just chugging away, putting a lot of work in, and sometimes you forget to have a drink. So kept everyone hydrated as well. A couple of us went off to get that, and we had then the model guys coming along. They had to drop off some of the boxes that had been shipped over. So yeah, it was a lot of moving about and reworking. So this is the next day, and these are all standard bags. We've got some premium bags over to the left, I believe. So you can see some of the leaflets and stuff we had put in there, each bag. What happened as well is, obviously, they can't just store these somewhere, and there's a lot of equipment. So this is all have arrived, and they were the time of delivery to arrive when they started renting the venue out as such. And we had an issue where we packed all the premium bags, but then Chris Roberts was signing one of the kind of cards inside the tin, and we had to open all the tins and put this collector card in that we got, and then add stickers to it as well, because he obviously had to hand sign these all. And for the premium ones, I'm going to roughly say around 2,000 signatures. So he was getting hand cramp at home signing all these that we then had to repack the next day. It was quite easy because we'd done the majority of the work, but yeah. This is where the merch booth was, and then the food is kind of the skeletal frames of the food booths as well. You'll see them later on. Meeting upstairs. This is from someone else grabbed it, because I think this is some of the people that weren't doing the initial merch packing. So there was a meeting with, you got Leah and Zylo Tyler there as well. So quite a lot of the volunteers there. They were parts of the other team, like Hall A and B teams. I think they were just going there getting their assignments. And then it kind of got changed into a lunchroom. We had all the tables there. You've got Jared there. He just didn't stop working. You see him on the radio there. Absolutely workhorse, just like, lead by example. But everyone just put in so much work there. And this is one thing I wanted to cover as well. You'll see this later on. You'll see some kind of stands for some models. But this wall behind here was where we were doing the bag packing. They had to put a fake wall up because there was a VIP dinner area, like a dining event, I think I don't know, it's not fine dining, but a like a cocktail evening VIP something. I don't know. I didn't go to it, but they had to close this off. So this was hired by someone else on the Thursday into the Friday. So they put a fake wall up just for the event, and then we went on to that got knocked down the next day. That evening we went home. So went back to the hotel, and then we went off to have a behind the scenes staff kind of, not staff, but like a meal out. So we all went out, and then this is a group photo of all of us that could make it. Some of them went off to the bar Citizen, which is a few bars down the road. I think further down the street, all the way down there, is where the CIG offices are as well. But there was like not clubbing strip, but loads of bars and restaurants down here. And a few of the bar Citizens were hosted at different venues down this street. So see me up here. And yeah, a few of us there. I won't shout anyone's names. I don't want to volunteer that up. But this is where the fake wall was. So where these pillars were, this got all taken down by the time we come in the next day. Venue was super organised. I've got to say the staff was super helpful that works at the venue, which is always helpful when you're running an event. So yeah, that was really good. And then we had the guys, I don't want to butcher their name, it begins with Y, can't think of it off the top of my head, but they came from China to put this model up. So we had 2 different models here, and these were all these were shipped, the massive containers were shipped over from China. We'll come back to that in a bit. So once that started getting put up, I thought I'll have a little wander around. So these are the community booths. You've got MISC, RSI, and Argo are all ship manufacturers in the verse, and you've got Covalex, which is a shipping manufacturer. So you've got vehicles, Argo, RSI, MISC, and then Covalex, which are one of the containers, which is basically what you'd be shipping these containers are. So that's what they wanted to look like. Some of the SCU kind of containers that you have in game that you actually do the cargo runs and stuff with. And yeah, you had up to 1 or 2 different not orgs or companies or businesses in each community booth. We do cover a video later on what's in there. Now this is a quick sneak peek of something that was at the community booth. Someone made an ASOP terminal that's in game, what you call your ships on, and they made a functioning ASOP terminal. This ended up at CIG headquarters, I think, because they didn't want to ship it all the way back. Does it come from somewhere in Europe, I think, or maybe even America? I'm not sure where they came from, but they got all resin here for it, made it all, and it functionally works just like in game. It's so impressive, the software they've done. And you even got Tiger Claw, like hacking cards there, that they're all unique, and they got handed to some of the devs and other people around the venue, then they could go in there and hack into it as well. So they put a lot of work into that. That was super cool to actually test it out before anyone got to see it. So, like I mentioned, we'll move on to back into Hall A. So now this is well underway with the construction. They've got the big screen up here. They're putting the rigging up, and they're going to be then attaching monitors either side. They've got some hanging up here as well, so people in the back rows can see. And you've got 4,500 seats in there, I think. 4,500 and something, I think the official number was for the seating. So a lot of seats. And then once I'd walked through there, we went outside, and this is the queue for the pre-registration on the Friday. So a couple of little bits I wanted to cover, just because I'm trying to get through this as quick as I can. Between the 2 days, so when we come back in for the seeing this area as well opening up, this is Friday kind of morning we came in, and this was starting to change. We went off to a bar Citizen. We finished about 6 o'clock the previous day from the swag bag packing, and then went off to the check into the hotel, and then went off to the bar Citizen at Impossible Bar, and then check out my merch video for kind of details on that. So we then also at the start of like checking in on orientation, we got lanyards as well. So we got these cool Citizens lanyards. This one's got a Chris Roberts signature on it, so I'm trying to keep that safe. But yeah, we got lanyards to keep around us, and we also got our t-shirts as well for the event. Again, check out my merch video for seeing all the details that are on that t-shirt. We've got Citizens written on the back, so we can kind of be differentiated. So I got asked to go out to be kind of security / helping out organise the queuing outside, because we were basically waiting for the merch delivery to come in, and it just kept getting held up. I don't know if there's really bad traffic in Manchester, but it kept getting pushed back hours and hours and hours. And yeah, so anyone that was on merch, we were just helping out everywhere we could. There was always something to do there. So I was outside. There was a video here, I think I've got. A lot of people coming up for a pre-reg. Got people waving, say hello. So I helped organise that. We basically, anyone with accessibility needs, we helped get through the queue as well, like kind of shortcut the queue. I was chatting to some of the community members, asking if Eric, what they were most excited for, if I had any questions, if I were going to the bar Citizen, the street takeover on the Friday night. Even had some offering to buy me some drinks out and saying thanks so much for volunteering and that, which is super awesome. So just a great community. Everyone was super friendly. It was really cool to kind of hang out there. I could have hung out there all day and just chatted to everyone, and you know, that was really good. So now we go back indoors after helping out with that. We had some lunch given to us by the venue as well, so we were always fed, watered and fed, which is nice. And then we had to help set up this. This is the other part of the stand as well, the model stand you saw earlier. And this is the Retribution. This is the biggest ship in the game. A Bengal, which is one of the biggest ships you can see in the game currently, is only like a third of the length of this. It's crazy. This was data mined out of the game, so it wasn't kind of meant to be released. But it's like a flying city, flying space station. Crazy. We had to help. So this come in, I think, 2 or 3 parts. The bulk of it here, we had to help put it on. So you've got all the attachments and the little parts, as you can see, they're putting on still here. But we had to help flip this over and get it on the stand. So it was very delicate work. So we helped get that on the stand for him, and then they kind of put the rest together. Awesome looking model though. That all the way from China. This was at the Bar Citizen in China, I believe. And then they asked for it to be brought over. And then the first ever time that they had put this on show in public anywhere. So this has obviously been made before in one piece before, but first time it's ever on display. Port Olisar, RIP, because it's no longer in the game. But super awesome space station, very nostalgic for people, and a lot of people miss it. A lot of respect for this. This is almost finished at this point. You've got a few little bits they're about to put on. They're keeping hydrated. It took them absolute hours. I think they were there to the early hours getting that put together. So a huge amount of respect for them for that. And it looked amazing. The amount of detail in that. I've got a video, I think, later on, which will show you a bit more. This picture will show you it under kind of low light. Can't remember if this was after Saturday closing or if this is Friday night. I think it was Friday night because we were there till quite late. So I think this is them lining up and just checking it's all working. But look at that detail. It's just incredible. But I've got a proper video later on that goes over it properly. So just wait for that one. So this is the other part of it now. The models are just off to the left here. And then through the kind of doors to the left, if I go back one, off to the left here is Hall B, where the Hornet is and all the community booths. So this is the queue system. You've got general admission here, and then the premium ticket line kind of goes up long ways there. One thing we kind of learned after the first day is putting the mannequins at the front so the actual people can see it, because this queue was full. So no one could see what actual merch we were seeing. So we had CRG staff on the tills. There was 4 to 5 tills running. So CRG had to obviously do the transactions because we're volunteers, we can't take payments. It was only card payments, but still they had to do transactions. So we were like the runners from helping them get the merch ready and do, getting all the stock. We had stock in the back behind here, and then some in a remote room as well. So we're just keeping it replenished because there was a lot of stuff being sold, a lot of different options as well. Something I'll cover a bit later on, what was sold at the venue. And then I was at the back here helping do running, but I also was helping with refunds as well, and like customer service inquiries and all that kind of stuff. So people ended up coming down this side here and ended up on this kind of end. So I ended up kind of like helping answer any questions that people had, showing them some of the merch as well because they couldn't see the mannequins, and help them with any other like issues. And then there was Rodrigo I partnered with. I think it's Rodrigo. A lot of names to remember for the weekend, but he was one of the IT guys that helped basically do some of the refunds or any other issues that they had basically. Yeah, so he was super helpful. So helped a lot of people out, organize things. And yeah, that was it. Pre-opening, you got the food halls as well. You can't quite see the noodle bar here, but you've got Garcia is it Garcia Greens? I think it is. I'm trying to remember the name of it. One in-game food places basically. Torpedo Burrito, which you'll see on some of the space stations, and then there's pizza, which has been teased in the verse. We're waiting for pizza to be officially put into the game, but everyone loves a pizza. So these are in-game kind of themed restaurant / food, fast food places, which is really cool. Another angle for the merch bit. And then moving back, this is Hall A finished. So this is them just doing a few more checks here, and just making sure the lighting was working correctly. So yeah, I think this was maybe Saturday morning. So just before this on the Friday, we worked until 6-7 o'clock, I think, at least. Maybe 8 o'clock actually. If I'm, yeah, I think it was close to 8:30. Thinking off the top of my head. So then we went off to the street takeover because we thought we were going to miss it. So that's why we left around that time. Eventually, I think everyone had been done by that point, but we were one of the last ones to leave. So went with the guys that we were going to the Airbnb with. So instead of going off to the Airbnb, which was a little bit out of the city centre, we went back to our friend's hotel, which was actually opposite the Bar Citizen street takeover, and yeah, went to his, got changed, shot off to the street takeover, which had like 2,000-3,000 people attend that. It was crazy. They worked with the city to close off a street. They had like 7 different bars in this area. Really cool. So we went to that. We stayed out till quite a while, and ended up getting some food out, I think. And then we went back to the Airbnb and checked in late because some of the guys there was like 5 of us at the Airbnb sharing it. They'd already checked in, so we went back and met them there. Stayed up to about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and then the next day we had to be up. I think I got up about 6-7 o'clock, and we had to start at the venue for 8 o'clock. Because we were getting a group photo on stage, which you'll see right at the end of this, for gates opening at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. So we start at 8, long days, and yeah, sleepless nights as well. This is them checking the lights, making sure it's all working, like runway lights here, funneling through. I'm flying this camera around. I think this actually, now I'm saying this is Friday night because they've done some rehearsals there. So I got a little video of that before they done the rehearsals. That like the guys that were doing the presentations, they were there till like late night doing rehearsals before the next day. So some of the guys that are working in Hall A and were ushers and stuff and security and helping out, they got to see like a preview for some of the events. So they were even more excited because they'd seen some of it before it happened. Yeah, and then Saturday morning we had a group photo on stage. This is just after we come off a stage. But you can see the whole venue here. I do get a picture of us on stage as well. So the big screens there either side, and you've got the massive screen in the middle. So this is a picture from on the stage. I don't know. This looks like a ghost here. It's very spooky. I don't know who this is. I don't know if there's someone stood behind me as a reflection of a light, but it looks like a figure there. That, or I've taken it so quick it's made someone blurry, or this place is haunted. One or the other. Yeah, you got a massive camera rigs down back here as well. So you got 2 massive cameras there that were feature the people that are on stage. And then on the next picture, you can see the teleprompter. So this is like the what they would have used to know their lines as such and see what's on the screen, so they didn't have to keep looking behind them. So you can see here, hello CitizenCon, bonjour CitizenCon. I am Benoit Beausejour. Hopefully I pronounced that right. Or some of you may know, Bolt on Spectrum. Let's talk about Brave New World. So that was obviously the opening panel, and that was his lines that he had on there. And obviously they have probably prompts or like, you know, things to cover on there. Depends if they were saying it off the cuff or not. So I've just skipped the Port Olisar one. I'm flying through this. I'm trying to get through it as quick as I can, guys, so we haven't got like a 2-hour video. So this is the Port Olisar. This is when it's open. I managed to get away from the merch for a little bit, so we had a little tour around. You can see the merch in the background, but look at the detail on that. Satellite dish and stuff. They put so much detail into this. And I believe this might be going up in the CIG office. Don't quote me, but it might be happening. So much detail. It's all to scale. Like it's crazy. I think this is 1/500 scale. So some of the model ships that they had there, they could have put on the landing pads there to replicate it. You got the solar panels there. Super cool. So this is Hall B. This is when one of the base building panels on. I managed to escape. I was grabbing a coffee. Cover it a bit later, but I might have got a chance to speak to someone with that. And then this is the VIP area just there as well. So this is the end of the day. One thing I wanted to cover, actually, my experience throughout the day on CitizenCon day one. So merch was super cool, really busy, like non-stop busy. So I was lucky enough. Like, this is probably I managed to get that base building like video while the actual panels were going on, but I didn't see any panels. That was I saw about 5 minutes of that, if that, because it was just not non-stop work. Like there were so many queues on that. We got a chance to go. We had kind of staggered lunches. So we all took turns to go up for lunch, grab some food. So the venue supplied us all hot food upstairs. We had like a staff room to eat at, which is super cool. And yeah, between that and working at our specific areas, it was just crazy. And anyone that was assigned to merch, like we had, it was just an endless queue. Some people were queuing for a few hours, like 2-3 hours or so. We're trying to get through it as quick as possible. I think it was better queuing than last event, but there were so many people wanting merch this year, and there was a lot of cool merch. So that was pretty intense, but it was super cool. Some people actually hit concierge or their next rung on how much they've kind of donated, put towards the game, shall we say, the development. So you one thing I want to stress is you only have to spend like $40 to get the game and to play it. You don't have to spend any more. But like it's the biggest crowdfunded game or thing ever, let alone game, just biggest crowdfunding thing ever. And it's from the generosity of the community to keep this game going. It wouldn't have got to where it was without the community and them helping fund it. So some people had donated thousands to it. And it was really cool to see someone actually had donated, obviously, quite a few hundred, and then what they purchased at the event, they actually, CRG would allow them to add it to their spending on their account. So then that tipped them over to hitting concierge, which would then unlock like certain tiers, extra kind of goodies as such for their account. And yeah, we kind of done a little cheer to people and celebrated it, and it was super cool to know how excited people were when they did that. So yeah, nice gesture from CRG and allowing that. You just had to kind of scan a QR code and then contact support, and they added it to your account, anything you bought for the merch. Right, I digress. So we're going to watch this video. This is me checking out the venue.
Event's still on.
After dark.
CitizenCon after dark. I don't know if anyone's still here. Oh, we've got a few people here. As you can see.
So it's winding down Saturday. So I got a chance to escape from merch because we'd closed it down.
Gone for food probably. It's been a super long day.
Don't ask about the hair. I'm going to be cutting off soon. All right. No judgments, please. Going through a midlife crisis.
Still going.
Going through a phase. I've never grown my hair out, so I kind of just wanted to do it.
VIP lounge.
You got a VIP over there, so you had special seating. There's some TVs in there, so you can watch some stuff on.
We'll see if that comes up.
Yeah, throughout the day, they've done an engine test on that.
Security guards at every point. It's really cool. Little sneak peek, and we've got the sim rigs still going over as well. So sim rigs.
So everybody get a good idea of what it looked like, what the layout was.
Go have a look at it. Oh, that shit.
There's a lot of seating areas there for people to be chilling out.
I'm pretty sure that's what Jared said earlier. We'll see it again.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be putting. I've heard of rumours of they're going to be putting that Hornet up as a model inside Manchester, which will be a super cool way to promote the game. And yeah, what my biggest regret of CitizenCon, not getting to try out the sim rigs. There was always someone on them, and I was always busy for the whole event. So this is the only chance I got to have a look around, and it was like they were shortly closing. Them chairs are super nice, really comfy. Really impressed with them. They're all got manufacturers of the on there. That is Planet Ring. That brand of ships. They're high quality injection molded ships.
I've got to clear this out as our last job for the day. But this is like the community
boost. That's the quietest it was all day. That was rammed. Anything they could have had more space for the community booths. How busy they were. And then the next video is us touring the community booths. So here, all the TVs were lit up during the day. You had some of the custom computers, Covalex boxes that were given away, sat on the corners. And then they were designing some of the giveaway items that were going to be in-game. They were actually designing them in the renderer.
We've got
Which is super cool.
GRDF with their models.
Ever want a model of a spaceship for the game? GRDF, amazing quality models.
That's pretty cool. Hopefully I'll get to meet some of them tomorrow.
I didn't get a chance to buy a model. I said I was going to come back. I never got a chance to. Intergalactic, they are a orc. You got Palacus Workshop. He does it as like a hobby. I don't think he only sells a select few. They're like quite a few hundred. Their models are, but he puts a lot of detail in. So Gion, one of the alien races. That 3D sign looked really cool in person, but the refresh rate on the video did not do it justice. Bar Citizen had their own stands. Test Squadron. Like I said, largest org. Bounty Merchantman, look at that model. Amazing. You've got the ASOP terminal guys here, Atlas, ADI, Atlas Defense Industries. Really cool. Lovely people. Really nice guys, really friendly. Put a lot of effort into their stand there. There's someone's on the ASOP terminal there.
You can get tide claw in there, they have hacking built in, so you can have unique tide claws that will do some hacking.
We don't want to give away during the show.
Inventory as well.
I think they do a little teaser, but so much attention to detail with that.
Very cool. Call out your ship then.
These are the gifts.
Yeah, these are all free. You can claim these.
See the other piece, yeah?
And you can call out a ship and go through it.
Let's call it out. How many ships there?
And it's now on its way. It's just going to land over there where the F7 is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It'll just land on top of it.
Yeah. What bugs? No bugs. We've got Atmo Esports. I've got an event on Sunday.
Yeah, they do esports. They do the Daymar Rally. If you ever saw my video for that.
Some cool posters.
Trophies are amazing. Ultima Racing, they do energy, so they refuel ships in the game.
They do refueling for the Daymar.
I'm repeating what I'm saying in the video.
Popular org that do they'll rescue you if you do a little med beacon in game.
So RP being medics.
What is this one? This is Avant-Garde's right here.
Another org. I think they're more into combat.
And then we've got. These are all boost guys, so I'm just getting some film because I didn't get a chance earlier. So.
Yeah, this is my only chance to have got around the venue. So Black Star Initiative, spoke to them about theirs. You've got a big Bengal there. Model. I say a big Bengal. Not as big as the one in the CIG offers, but super cool.
Black Star Initiative, another org. A little bit.
Hubnet. They are the Netflix of the verse, as they call themselves.
Check out.
You can do your own like videos and try to encourage people to create content, and then it might be able to be added in the game one day. Ungod Squad, I think they're a PvP org.
I don't know if that QR code works for people. Try that, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
So, right, next part is we're kind of jumping ahead now. So, this is the end of Sunday now. We're almost there. One thing I wanted to cover, what they allowed us to do because of our kind of boost and stuff like that. They let us because everyone was going to be sat down watching the last presentations on each day. On the Saturday, it was the Squadron42, which was redacted at the time, but a lot of people knew it was going to be Squadron. So they allowed us to watch Squadron. I actually got to watch Squadron42 demo with the devs. So I was speaking to Sarah, who designed, you'll see the mouse pad later. She's done the artwork for that, and she does a lot of the artwork for the website, and she's a marketing artist. And we went to go watch this together. And instead of sitting down with all the behind the scenes people, because we had assigned seating, I think, which I didn't know where it was, if I'm honest. We ended up standing at the back and watching it with some of the devs, and I actually spoke to one of the guys that I recognised from Inside Starter Citizen that he does some of the weapons. So I pretty cool thing to say, watch Squadron42 demo with the devs that made it, and it was so cool to hear their passion and saying, oh, this is about to happen, or wait for it kind of thing, and they were really excited for people to actually see what was about to happen. They're a bit upset about the crashes, which was obviously upsetting, but actually hearing some of the stuff that they had to go through for it. I'm going to do a separate video for this. It was really cool insight. I actually found out a load of cool, juicy info by watching it with them and them telling me some stuff about the actual trailer and the gameplay. So keep an eye out for that. I also queued up in the coffee queue and had a chat with one of the guys that's responsible for the new social features in the game. So he was the one that was on stage. I forgot his name, but we'll cover it all in the video. But he gave me some insight into the timeline for when that's going to be coming out. So we'll do a dedicated video all on that and everything I found out. Yeah, anyway, this is the end of day 2, and this is us watching the base building. Like squad, basically Star Citizen 1.0, and you can just hear some of the excitement from the crowd. Turn it down a little bit so you can hear me. It was nice actually to sit down at one point in the day because it had been another very busy day on merch. I actually didn't get relief for lunch, so I skipped lunch that day. Just worked through. You see everyone cheering for the Bengal. No one knew you could craft a Bengal until this point. There had been rumoured that you could find one in game, and there was rare blueprints, but there'd only ever be like one crafted. But now they're going to say like end game, your goal will be to build a Bengal, which I'm not against. I know some bit is controversial in some respects, but like as long as you can't like, unless you can lose it, there's a risk to it, and it takes an absolute mountain of resources and a long time to craft. But wait, there's another pop in a minute that people get excited by, and it's when people realise space stations can connect, because the base building, you need to watch the panel if you haven't seen it, but it covers like all the bits you can add on, like cargo wing and freight. Everyone's super excited to see the space stations linking together. It's crazy. Yep, amazing. Really good panel. And shout out to Czech League. He's in Delta Blue Aerospace org. He runs it, and he does a Daymar rally every year. So he was the one that got me into the game. All the way from Canada he flew in from. Always spoke, like we spoke for the last 2+ years online, never met, so it was really cool to meet in person. We got a little group photo with another guy from the org as well, and yeah, had a good chat with him as well. So great to meet him finally in person. And then one of these guys got me, this guy, the photographer, was I think he's a photographer for this guy. They're both in Atlas Defense Industries, the guys that did the ASOP terminal as well. So a lot of talented guys in that org, and they done the cosplay contest, these two. So yeah, got a photo with them. It's pretty cool, and a lot of effort put into the cosplay guys. This guy's also a streamer. I can't think of the name off the top of my head, so sorry for forgetting. Here's me and John Crew. This t-shirt does not flatter me, so yeah. Had a large t-shirt, did not fit me well. But yeah, John Crew's super down to earth and friendly guy. Really nice to chat to him, and he helped out on the merch as well. He just went out of his way to come and help us, even though he was like about to do he literally worked right up to the point of having to run off to go on stage at one point as well. So him and John Crew were helping us out on merch. Great to meet him in person, have a good chat with him. And then got to meet the one and only Chris Roberts as well. He done a few signatures and stuff, but yeah, great to meet him in person. He went out his way, so at the end of the event, he came over to all the volunteers. He actually shouted us out in the thank you kind of speech at the end to say thanks to all the backers, but also said thanks to the volunteers, which is just that small little thing has meant a lot. So he come over and signed all our stuff and took photos of us as well and hang around. So did Jared as well. So Jared was doing the studio tours, but he also, for anyone that wasn't able to stay longer because some people were flying back that day, he offered to get signatures and photos of people. So Jared was huge respect for that. So this is a prompt for me to bring up the merch. I'm going to bring this on here. So this is the merch that they had at the event. I just thought I'd cover it in this video, just where I was working. This is what stuff we were selling. So we had this hat on the back right corner. You had CitizenCon 2953, like metal plate kind of thing, stitched into the hat. So it was like exclusive for the event. This is a hoodie that I got. It's got a CitizenCon badge at the bottom. The Zeus jacket as well, super cool. I don't normally wear bomber jackets, so I did try it and think I don't suit this, but it was a super cool jacket. Like, I wish I bought it now. I do regret not getting one. And they've now they're back in stock. They're back in stock. They were sold out. Yeah, it's yours now. But they're really nice. They do come up with size small, so if you are looking to buy one, I would say get one size larger than normal. There should be a size guide on there, but yeah, if you normally get like a medium, get a large. Should fit a bit better. We were having to advise people that at the event. Got a long sleeve UE. I think this had a badge at the bottom just to say you bought it there. I've got this one. This has got CitizenCon written across the hat for the event. They were kind of the main exclusive ones. There was a few pins and stuff as well, which you can't see here. And this is what I mentioned about. I think it's Sarah that designed this. So yeah, it was pretty cool to meet the artist, and she got to sign some of the mouse pads that they sold as well. So that was awesome to see. So, yeah. One other thing as well, I wanted to shout out. If you haven't seen my studio tour video, Star Citizen Squadron42 CIG studio tour, check it out on my page if you haven't watched it already, and you can get to see the whole, the studio. We got an exclusive kind of like tour just to say thank you. And yeah, that's just a great gesture by CIG. So, yep. Now, a little bit at the end, cover. We had a absolute mountain of boxes. I just want to shout out everyone that helped out behind the scenes with these boxes. We must have had about it was hundreds. It's well over 100. This is us halfway through it, because you can see how much boxes we've got over it. It's just a lot of work. So. Shout out to everyone that helped us smash through that. When I remember telling Cardi, which is my team lead for match, that we'd done all the boxes, he didn't believe us at first, because we absolutely smashed that as a team. I think this was Dan. I can't remember this guy's name. Sai and Kristen as well. Kristen had flown. I think these both had come in from Austin. So. Yeah, great to meet him. Mandy and Kristen ran the whole of merch for the CIG staff. Super well organised. It was great to work with them and have a good laugh. And yeah, it was good fun. And then this is Ed as well. He worked alongside Niku and Leah to run the event. Really nice guy and great to work with. So shout out to them. Thanks for just being supportive. And if I didn't already want to work for CIG, I even more do so now after meeting everyone and getting to volunteer with them. Another little bit as well, another shout out to my merch video. Check that out. I've actually got one of these bottles I took home. It's not real whiskey, it's like food colour, so I'm not going to drink it. But they had all these in-game drinks behind the bars. So these are like props, and these flags as well, so we got to take some of them home. So I've got some of them. That was super cool to actually be able to take them home. Little extras. This is a little peek of what I cover in the video. So I go into detail in the video, everything I get, but like little unboxing I do. But that's everything I took home from CitizenCon. Quite a lot of stuff. And lastly, a huge shout out to everyone that done behind the scenes, and obviously IG staff that helped organise us well, and looked after us, and it was awesome to see. So we all got on stage for this group photo. One thing that bothers me that we aren't quite lined up in the middle of the stage, but everyone was super friendly. It was just great to work with you all. So appreciate it. If any of you are watching the video, thanks for making it an awesome weekend. My first ever CitizenCon, and what a way to do it. So yeah, it was super humbling. Hopefully I've made some friends that I'll stay in contact with. I think there's going to be a dedicated behind the scenes volunteer Discord as well, so we can all stay in touch, and then hopefully I will meet all or the majority of you next year as well. So yeah, super excited to be able to attend next year's, pending the location. If I can get the okay from the other half, if it is abroad for me to travel, I do really want to go, but having a little one may stop that. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, it's in Manchester again. Fingers crossed. But we'll see where it is going to be, and we'll go from there. But it was an amazing experience. Just yeah, it was such a well-run event, I would say, and just meeting so many like-minded people into sci-fi, into gaming, and into this specific project, Star Citizen and Squadron42. It was just, yeah, could have chatted to these guys all weekend long, non-stop. So, but we had a lot of work to do. They were long days. At one point, I remember getting in, so I finished working on the Saturday. The event closed around 10, so you saw that video of me doing the tour. I didn't get out of the venue till a good 10:30, 11 o'clock. My mates had all gone for food because they were struggling to find somewhere to eat. They came back to meet me, so shout out to them. As Eden Fret and Night Ranger. And then we had to go find our friends again, the rest of them. And then we all went back to the Airbnb. So I don't think we got back. I had to grab some food at like a Tesco's on the way to finding them. And just not good food, just some easy snacks. And then we got back to the Airbnb about like midnight, I think. And then I got to bed about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then we had to be up on the Sunday. We had to be at 7 a.m. at the venue. So I think I got woke up by the guys at like 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, broken sleep, about 3 hours sleep I think I got. That was a long day on the Sunday. Ending with an awesome studio tour. We had a lot of caffeine to get me through that. But yeah, I'd do it all again in a heartbeat. Would definitely do it all again. So feel free to drop any queries in the comments of like if you were interested in doing it, or if you went to the event, or if you were behind us. Like, just I appreciate all feedback and anything. Apologies for the video being so long. I just wanted to make sure I was thorough and covered everything. Yeah, I will be doing another video, as I said, on my reaction with the Squadron42 demo, getting to watch over the devs, and a couple of other kind of chats I had with some of the other CRG stuff as well. So excited to put that video out, but glad I got all this done. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you see, feel free to give the video a like, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, appreciate all the support. The subscribers have been tallying up a little bit, and yeah, I'm just going to keep trying to keep that consistency with these videos. We'll have some shorter videos going forward as well, so keep an eye out for them. Much love, and thanks again for watching. Peace out.